car definitely failed. Gear 2, flipping.
So that's the end of the test. How do you feel it went?
I feel it went bad.
Do you think you passed or failed?
I failed, that for sure, yeah.
So you think you failed, you passed?
Have I actually?
Welcome to another video. My name's Abby, I'm a driving instructor. So today we've got a learner driver. Like always, I haven't met before and he's only here for me to assess if he's ready for the actual driving test. So Yahia, do you want to tell the viewers a bit about yourself and a bit about your driving?
Yeah, I'm 17 years old. I come from Sheffield and I've had about 14 hours of driving.
And do you feel you're test ready?
I don't feel I'm test ready right now, but hopefully in about a month's time maybe I'll just to check where my progress is.
Alright, so have you got a test coming up soon then?
I do, yes, in about a month's time, yeah.
So have you got any weaknesses in your driving?
I would like to think that I've still got a touch up on my observation and especially my parking.
So you must have watched our YouTube videos. You'll be driving independently yourself and at the end we'll go over the mistakes. Whilst you're driving I won't go over the mistakes, and you'll be following the sat nav at the beginning, then I'll give you directions. And for those of you who haven't watched our previous videos, the serious faults will be in red text and the driving faults, which are also known as minors, will be in yellow text, and getting any serious faults results in a fail. So before the test the examiners can ask you a tell me question. Have you learned the tell me questions?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I'll throw you easy one. Tell me how you'd check that the tyres to ensure that they have sufficient tread depth and that the general condition of the tyres are safe on the road, to use on the road.
There should be no cuts and bulges on the tyres.
Yeah.
And also the tyre depth should have a minimum of 1.6 millimeters.
Yeah, well done. So at the beginning we're going to follow the sat nav, then after that I'll give you directions. So whilst you drive, if you don't understand the directions a bit, you can ask me. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's alright.
Yeah, let's get going.
Good to go?
Yeah, move off when you're ready. Yahia carries out good all-round observations before moving off. His right foot is on the accelerator. Learners that set the gas avoid themselves from moving off slowly, especially on hills.
You will arrive at your destination at 2:54 p.m.
This junction, Yahia does it really well. For someone who's only done 14 hours of driving, it is pretty impressive. It is a very close junction where your view is restricted due to a van being parked on the right. So he leans forward and checks continuously to make sure it's safe, then pulls out. So you're at college at the moment?
Yeah.
When are you starting back?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Are you looking forward?
Nope. Big year for me.
Turning right at this mini roundabout, Yahia applies a signal slightly late.
Bear right.
So you've been watching the videos quite a bit.
Yeah.
So do these streets look familiar to you now?
Some of them do, yeah. Some of them, yeah. Like that roundabout, that mini roundabout, definitely.
When passing parked vehicles, you should leave 1 meter of space, which is approximately a car door length for a car door to open. If you can't leave less than a meter, you should slow down. So say for instance you leave half a meter of space, you still can go through the gap but at half of the speed. So if you can do 30 mph, drop the speed to 15 at half a meter. Yahia gets slightly too close to the vehicle on the left. He releases the clutch quickly without applying any gas, so stalls. When both lanes go to the same direction, you should stick to the left lane. Yahia moves to the right lane, then moves back over to the left. Isn't marked down as when switching lanes, he done it safely by checking his mirrors and applying the signal.
Go around the roundabout, second exit, A6, beyond lane south.
He does leave the right signal on after switching lanes, so picks a driving fault. As he's going straight ahead and not doing a U-turn, the right signal isn't needed here. Due to this signal, the opposite vehicles could think we're doing a U-turn. So here he moves over back to the correct lane.
After 100 yards, go around the roundabout, second exit, Dalton Street.
Again he leaves his left signal on after switching lanes. This left signal could have dropped him a serious fault if there was a vehicle on the left. It could have confused them that we're taking the first exit. Luckily there were no vehicles.
Go around the roundabout, second exit, A6.
So as soon as you turned 17, did you start learning to drive? Or did you learn before 17?
No. When I started, even a little after 17. I was still 17 obviously. So I started learning after. So I did my theory and stuff like that.
When it's safe, you should go over the cycle lane if there's a vehicle turning right. Yahia notices this and goes past the vehicle at a good speed. So here I'm gonna throw Yahia one of the show me questions. When it's safe to do so, show me how to clean the front windscreen. You've not done it, obviously, you've not drove this car. Yeah, push it towards me. Just put the wipers one down. Are you finding this car easy to drive?
Yeah, but just not used to it, and trying to look at the speedometer is a bit hard. You know?
Do you reckon it's difficult?
No, it's just because the camera's like rocking it, but it should be alright.
You're tall enough to see it.
Yeah. It's just like I got edged forward a bit.
These traffic lights ahead are known as filtered traffic lights. When it's a green and a green arrow, the opposites can't pull out, but you still gotta keep an eye out in case someone pulls a mad one. This roundabout Yahia deals with it really well. Apart from signalling slightly late on approach, you should always signal just before you start slowing down, so the vehicles behind have enough time to react.
Go around the roundabout, second exit.
To be honest, I have no plans for today. That's okay, yeah.
At this roundabout we're going straight ahead, second exit. Yahia approaches and exits the roundabout well, and after entering the roundabout he keeps to his lane well, and exits by checking his mirrors and then signalling. Again he deals with this roundabout really well. He selects a left lane to go straight ahead, and when entering the roundabout he doesn't drift over to the right. I did ask him if there are a lot of roundabouts in Chorley, as we are known for them.
After 300 yards, go around the roundabout, first
Definitely, yeah. Definitely. Loads. They don't stop coming. It's just next roundabout after roundabout
Go
after
around
roundabout.
First exit.
That's just going straight.
Yeah. So Yahia told Yahia to pull up on the left hand side. He picks a safe spot, pulls up nice and close to the curb, not blocking any driveways. So when it's safe to do so, I'd like you to pull up on the left hand side.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Move off when you're ready. When moving off, he doesn't prepare the car by selecting the first gear, so stalls, but reacts well after stalling.
First one, it's just we're done.
After stalling, he should have cancelled his right signal, as the vehicles behind could get confused that we're gonna pull out.
After 90 yards, bear left, Collingwood Road.
He's just following the bend to the left.
Yeah.
Bear left.
Oh, I can't believe I stood.
The speed limit on this road is 20 mph. Yahia drives at around 23. He does click and slows down, so it's only marked as a driving fault. Do you speak Arabic?
I do, yes.
I can speak Arabic.
Really?
I speak the Fusha
Turn
Arabic.
left, crawl for that.
What's your nationality?
Jamaica.
What?
I'm only joking. Pakistani.
Thought so.
Huh?
Thought so.
But I can speak Arabic because I studied Islamic theology
Obviously.
for 6 years.
What?
He'll be asking Yahia to carry out the emergency stop. He has covered it before, so I don't expect any faults. So, surely we're going to carry out the emergency stop. When I say stop, you just need to stop.
Alright.
Have you done the emergency stop before?
I have.
Okay. So when I say stop, you just need to stop.
Turn left,
His emergency stop was alright, but his braking could have been firmer.
drive.
Stop!
Bear right, road.
Move on. So my guys, remember before moving off, you gotta check over your left and right blind spots, which Yahia does.
Don't need to signal because it's not benefiting anyone.
He deals with this meat situation really well. He holds back in a good position close to the centre line, and before steering out and in from the parked vehicles, he checks his mirrors. This is a highlight of the whole test. Yahia really thought he failed here. So the vehicle on the left gives us way to pull out. Yahia pulls out in second gear, so stalls in middle of the road. He got really lucky as his stalling didn't slow the vehicle approaching on our right. He did react very quickly after stalling, and man, this guy is lucky. He managed to set off in second gear straight away.
Oh dear me. Now I've definitely failed. Gear 2. Flipping.
Here I'll be asking Yahia to carry out the pull up on the right and reverse in 2 car lengths manoeuvre. When it's safe to do so, I'd like you to pull up on the right hand side. Pull up on the right hand side. Yahia positions well and pulls up nice and close to the curb and doesn't pull up opposite parked vehicles on the left. And reverse 2 car lengths. Game's not over yet. Overall his manoeuvre was alright, but he could have done more checks over his left and right blind spots. That's enough. Move off when you're ready. Time to wrap up. Let's find out what Yahia thought about his driving. Into neutral. Just switch the car off. So that's the end of the test. How do you feel it went?
I feel it went bad. Like,
do you think you passed or failed?
I failed, that for sure, yeah. Failed.
What do you think you failed on?
I think I failed on, so when I pulled out the junction, I stalled in between. That's obstructing traffic and, you know, just dangerous in general.
So you think you failed, you passed?
Have I actually?
Yeah, you passed. Because you're lucky, you're very lucky. It's on the scenarios, do you get it, in the situations.
Yeah.
So you stalled once when you pulled up on the left. You're lucky, obviously you could tell by your more pulled up on the left when you stalled, when you pulled up on the left. But you didn't affect another vehicle. Do you understand? So vehicles just went past you. What could have failed you? Do you know that right signal? You kept it on. You should have switched that right signal off, because that right signal could have confused a car behind that you're pulling out, and because of that they would have to stop. So what I would have suggested is take that right signal off. Do you understand? If you stall, make sure you take that right signal off, because you don't want to obviously affect another vehicle behind. Then there was that, you know, when you said you stalled when you pulled out in the middle of the junction, you were in the middle of the road and you stalled, but that car on the left was already stopped for you. You reacted well straight away, you corrected it and went off. Do you understand?
So
you got quite lucky.
That's good,
Do you understand? You need to work quite a few things on your driving. You got a couple of driving faults. So there was a late signal. You signalled late. A couple of occasions you signalled late. And there's another. There's an occasion near the beginning of the test. We turned right at a mini roundabout, and you said you've done that. You saw that mini roundabout on the videos quite a bit. So when we turned that right on the mini roundabout, the road's quite narrow. Do you get it? We went a bit closer. Car on the left. If it was a little bit more closer, I would have had to intervene. You get it? So you need to keep an eye out on your clearance between the left. Then, so when 2 lanes, there's on a roundabout, you switched lanes, then you move back into left. It happened at the beginning. So when there's 2 lanes that go to the same direction, which lane do you need to be in?
Left.
The left. So both of them lanes were going to the same direction, which is straight ahead. You should have just stuck to the left. Do you understand? We didn't need to switch lanes. So I'd say because you switched lanes safely and then you move back in safely, it's not going to be marked down. Do you understand? So as long as you do it safely, it's fine. Also on speed. Do you understand? Did you notice you clicked on? You thought you failed. On that, but you didn't fail because you only done it for like a second.
Okay.
So if it goes over like 1 or 2 seconds, it's fine. You realise quickly, then you can obviously correct it. If you leave it for about 5-6 seconds, and then it'll turn into what? Serious fault. Do you get that? So that was only a driving fault that you went up to 23. Do you understand? So you got quite lucky though. observations. Do you know, on that pull up on the right, you look at, I was going to make you do parallel park, but someone else was doing it on that street. Even examiners use that street for parallel park. Took you on that street, it was too busy.
Yeah.
So I made you do an easy maneuver. But on this maneuver, when you're reversing, you did stop for a vehicle, which was very good. But after you stopped for the vehicle, you were reversing, but you weren't checking enough what? Blind spots. Do you understand? You need to check more blind spots when you're reversing.
Yeah.
Because when you're driving forward, which window do you look at?
Yeah, forward.
Forward. And when you're reversing, which one should you be looking at?
Back window.
Back. You should focus more on the back. So you got a driving fault for observations. You need to check more blind spots. Other than that, do you feel you messed up a bit on any of the
I certainly felt like I failed. I certainly did, and I'm pleased that I actually passed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then that stalling, remember when you stall, if you react well, it's fine. Do you understand?
Yeah.
A lot of times learners, they also, this will be beneficial for the viewers, that they think they failed during the test. Don't let that make you think that you failed. Do you understand? Because it can spoil the other parts of your driving. Never think you failed on the test. Do you understand? But it's quite surprising. You only took 14 lessons, which is quite shocking.
That's good.
Have you had any like private tuition or anything?
No.
Blimey, that's good. That's impressive, definitely.
Thanks.
Do you feel any other parts where you missed? The emergency stop, it could have been firmer.
You think?
Yeah.
I didn't want to be too firm.
You gotta do it firm. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You're saving someone's life. It's not a joke.
Yeah.
So you think, to picture yourself, someone stepping out in the road and you gotta stop straight away. So you're braking. If it was a little bit more lighter, I would have marked it as a serious fault. But he needs to be more what?
Firmer.
And also, after the emergency stop, you don't need to signal. You're already in the middle of the road. But there's no one around. Majority of the times, there won't be a vehicle behind, because the examiner will always tell you to do it when there's what?
There's
no vehicle.
Because otherwise, if you're doing emergency stop,
and it'll cause a crash. Do you understand? So, but you still have to check your blind spots before, which you did do. Other than that, do you feel you messed up any other areas?
I mean, now that you told me that, no, other than what you've said. That's about it.
So you've done quite well.
That's nice.
Obviously, there's parts of your driving you need to work on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you which one you need to work on is your signalling. Keep an eye on that. When are you meant to signal?
About 30 yards.
You're meant to signal before you start slowing down. So if I say to you, end of the road, turn right. Before you start braking and putting your clutch in, you do the signal, because that signal is an indication for people at the back that you're going to start slowing down. So you need to give them time to react to your slowing down. That's the timing of your signal. Clearance, you need to keep the roads that I took you on. There weren't many vehicles on the right and left. They were mainly roundabouts. But there was only one road where I took you on where there was a lot of cars. You did get close to the left. So clearance, you definitely need to touch up on that. And then stalling, keep an eye out. Do you get it? If your speed drops under about 7.6, you need to put it in which gear? First. We leave it in second sometimes. So you need to keep an eye out on that. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's alright.
Yeah. So if this video has benefited you, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video.